back once again to Counseling at Your Doorstep. Our guest is Thank you for coming. We are so honored. Like it's such a great privilege. So before we dive into today's section, have you subscribed? Have you liked, share? Have you watched the other episodes? If you have not, we are waiting for you. So today we'll be talking about a crucial matter. The topic is life and direction. And before we continue, our guest, can you please introduce yourself once again?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Olamide Afolabi, a student counselor from Bafemi Awolowo University.
We are so privileged. We are so honored to have a student counselor from the Great Effect. Thank you very much. We are so grateful. So today we'll be talking about life and direction. What does it mean to be directed? What is life? What is direction? What it means when you're directed. We have directions in life. And I believe that our student counselor is prepared. Trust me, we don't want to miss this episode for anything. So moving on, when we say life and direction, what does it mean? Some people will be thinking maybe we are talking about film now. Cuts, continue, director and all of that. So when we say life and direction, what does it mean? What should come to a normal human mind that life and direction?
If you're looking at life and direction, we are not looking at, let's say, direction to living life. It is not really like that. Life and direction is basically about finding meaning in life. But like living in existence, being existential, making the most of the life we are, living in full meaning, finding the real essence of our being. Why am I in this life? Why am I living? What is my purpose? What is my goal? And then finding the one that adapts to who we are and what we are meant to be. That is basically what life and direction is.
Okay, you said something about finding purpose, finding who you are, I know somebody there is like, okay, how am I supposed to know what I should? My name is Ayataiwo, so okay, so what's purpose? So like, what is purpose? And when it comes to life and direction, when you're trying to say find who you are, what are you trying to say like that? What is there steps? Is there goals or anything?
Actually, in life and direction, or in directing our life, or let's say finding our purpose in life, there are steps to follow. Obviously, in anything we do in life, there are steps to it. So there are steps to finding our direction in life. They are not so difficult steps. They are basic steps that we engage in our daily living in life. But there are just things that we have not sit down to reason to ourselves and then put importance to that. These are things that might actually be influencing my life. These might be the things that I need to become who I want to be in life. This might be that really thing that I need in order to actualize my goal. So there are steps to it.
Yes, so okay, before we now move to the steps, I don't want to rush this, because me myself, I am like the thing is sinking into my understanding, my brain. Like, so before we move to that, so okay, you said life is like finding purpose, essence, like you being existent, having goals and all of that. So okay, there are some people that be like, I now have direction and my life still makes sense. So what is now life without direction?
There are some people that I would say life comes easy for them, but then it doesn't actually come easy. To be like more of reaping effort or being in a situation, more of being opportune actually. Being at the right place at the right time, or let's say the universe just was the person. That's why some people feel like I do not have a particular direction, I do not have a particular goal, and everything is going on well and right for me. There is no stress, there is no trouble, everything is easy peasy. But then there is still a direction that the person has not noticed in place. Because for you to actually move in that path that is leading to your success, there is something you've thought of that is leading you. Whatever is leading us to our path of success is our direction.
Okay, now talking about steps in finding direction. What type of direction? Is it direction just to be successful? Is it direction to find a good husband? Is it direction? Okay, this direction straight? Is it off? Is it sloppy? Is it, you understand? So okay, if we are talking about direction, what kind of direction are we talking about here?
When we are talking about direction, we need direction for all the facets of our lives, actually. For every phase of our life. no matter how small that phase we are going into is, we need direction for it. So to be as if we have things under control, we feel like, okay, even if things go wrong, there is this something I can come back to. We need direction for basically
everything. So okay, when we're not talking about this life and direction, you talked about finding purpose, finding who you are. So how does getting to know who you are goes in line with life and direction?
When we are talking about finding our purpose, finding who we are, that is when we are going somehow into the steps of finding life direction.
Okay.
And then if we are going into the steps of finding our life direction or finding our direction in life, the first thing we have to do is knowing ourselves, basically. And when we are talking about knowing ourselves, we are talking about knowing our values.
Okay.
What are our core values? What are your values? What are the things that mean more to a person? What are the things that are of essence to a person? What kind of a person are you? What are the things that drives you? What are the things that motivate you? What are the things you like and the things that you do not like? What are the things you relate with? What are the things that have been a part of your recurrent thing in your life that has always been ever present? What are those things that you hold dear to yourself? Those are the things we first have to sit down and reason ourselves. Knowing our values like a pointer to our life direction. It is the first basic thing that we have to do. Knowing ourselves.
So we can call that self-awareness.
More of self-awareness.
Okay. So I know someone is out there to saying, okay, knowing myself. Okay, how am I supposed to know myself? How am I supposed to know myself? Okay. The person have said that I have to know myself. Now I've sit down, now I've think. Okay, my values. Okay, what are those things I know this? Okay. And the person is having difficulty in knowing who she or he is really in. So what do you think? How can we navigate knowing who we are? Is it just by asking people like, okay, Shola, kilo feel about me? Like, what do you feel about me? Is it that I'm always soft? Do I shout a lot? Do I so
in knowing ourselves, it is more of an action than words. More of taking action. In us getting to know ourselves, it's not just I sit down and I go into a process of brooding.
Yeah.
And I start thinking, okay, Shade, what kind of person are you? You shout, you're an introvert, you're a social person, you're an extrovert. All those things matter, but they are not really who we are. So in knowing who we are, it starts with a basic action of take a pen, take a book, write down your value.
Okay. Example,
qualify yourselves. Okay. Ask yourself, what are the things I like?
Okay.
I like positivity. I'm sometimes negative. I like progressivism. I like this. What are the things that make me angry? Lies, cheating, being straightforward, trustworthiness. What are the things that motivate me? Okay, when I feel like things are not going my way, what are those things that bring me back to what I'm doing and bring me back on track? Okay, when I feel like I'm losing focus, when I listen to music, I get back on track. When I listen to motivational speech, I get back on track. When I listen to my pastor's speech, I get back on time. There are some people that are actually motivated by this popular pastor online. People have different things that motivate them. So you just like sit down, pen it down. Penning things down goes a long way. Don't just think about it. Take the action. That is where taking action starts from. So you start with analyzing ourselves. Then we can actually go through the process of evaluation from others. It helps us a long way. It's really, really go a long way in knowing our values, in knowing who we are. But more of knowing our values come from ourselves. The evaluation of others actually helps us in balancing it up and navigating it.
Thank you for that. Actually, from what you said now, you said something that said penning things down goes a long way. It shows your readiness to know who you are. You bring people, okay, I want to know who I am. And you said something about knowing your covers. There are so many people, they themselves don't know what they hold esteem, like your values. You don't know what you really want. You have friends. You have many people around you. And you don't know. Okay, this is the standard of thing. Yes, what I want from my friends, I expect it from the person I'm going to call a friend. The person must be honest, must have this type of value and all of that. So thank you for that. We really appreciate.
Yeah,
so okay, moving on. You've given us the first step, self-awareness, knowing who we are. So what are the next steps in getting directions in life?
In getting life direction, don't let me tell you that it follows a particular sequence, but there are steps to it. And I'm telling you that there are sequences actually, but the sequence that work for me might not work for her, might not work for others. So it is just knowing the steps and then analyzing it accordingly to ourselves, trying to put everything together and then seeing what comes next after doing this. But basically, after knowing ourselves, the next thing for us to do is to get rid of negativity. Negativity is a joy killer. It goes a long way into dimming our energy and bringing down our morale. It is a negative energy. It is very, very bad, not good at all. So in us getting our direction in life, the next thing we have to do is be positive. Positivity can be our only driver in getting what we want in life, in going towards our direction, and actually not derailing from that direction that we are going through in life. It's just as if we are trying to build a foundation to a house. We started with all these stones and then we've laid the very foundation. Then the next step it should be laying of the bricks one by one and all that. Instead of us to continue in a steady process like that, we are now trying to like find an easier way that goes. Let's like jump this thing. Actually, big see, let's put this stick and then see if this thing will balance. Then at the end of the day, we have a jumbled up dream. So it is just like that. In life, we need positivity. It goes a long way. It's something that keeps us going. There are some thoughts that comes to our head which we feel is not negative, but it's actually in fact negative and bad for and bad towards getting what we want in life. Things like, okay, you're in a part of getting something done, then you just sit down and say, what do I really need this? What do I really need this thing for? I don't think it's of essence to my life. This might just be a little bit of those things that people just get in life. I don't see anything of me actually getting it again since I have something else in life. That is a negativity for a particular phase that we might not actually need, but that will affect other phases that are to come. So negativity, no matter how small or how minute we think it is, we have to get rid of it and then work more on positivity. And in working more on our positivity, we will need mindfulness. We need to be mindful of everything that we do. Stress will come in, family issues will come in, friends will bring in their own problem, issues from anywhere, from all phases of our lives that will combine together, the educational, the relationship, the spiritual, all these phases of our life that we bring together, they will pose problems, they will pose threats to our direction after knowing our value. And there are also things that like influence our values that we've described and then pen down. Now, when these things now come, there will be some influences from each one of these angles that I mentioned that want to pose a little threat of negativity. You have friends around you, you are trying to become a content creator. Your friends are online tablets, or let me say online traders. Then your friends now tell you, I don't really feel a need of you going from the path that you are in. Being the content creator will not help you. You can just join out and learn the streets. You don't have any stress, just on that online. And then if a person orders, you give them their product, and then you have your money, you have your. But then that might not seem as negativity. But then it has dampened up that dream in that person. If you did not know why the desire to get what the person wants, which is content creation, it will limit it, and then the person will not be able to get it at that particular point in time that the person wants to get that goal. So anything that might actually want to be like a negative impact on our life, we have to get rid of it. Positivity is very, very important, and negativity is a joy destroyer.
So after knowing ourselves, then we cultivate the habit, or should I say the habit of positivity?
Let's say a bit of positivity or positive thinking.
Or positive thinking. So let's say that's the second step of getting life direction. Are there other steps?
Yes, there are other steps. The next thing now will be knowing what we want. We've identified our value. We've gotten rid of every form of negativity. Now the next thing is, what do I now want? There is no negativity in my life. I already analyzed what I want and what I do not want. Now we now go through all those things that we say we want in our life, all those things that derive our life. We derive our direction from our life values. Somebody else's life value cannot work for us. It is just our life value that work for us, and then we cannot copy There is no plagiarism in life value. Hereditary doesn't come into life value. Genetics doesn't come into life value. So you cannot say your mother's life value or your brother's life value is your own life value. No. That is why knowing our life value it is very, very important. Then after that, we now go into knowing what we want. What do I want? From the type of person that I am. A person that goes all out for people. I'm a person that help people. I don't like seeing people in pain. I don't like seeing people getting sad. I am more of getting the financial account balance. I'm more of selling and buying products. I love it when people are getting things done the right way that they are meant to be. I hate it when people are not getting things right. These are things that help us to know like what we want. Now, when you now get that thing that you want, move in line with that. Don't derail from that point. Don't let other people's stresses determine what we want for us. We should not allow society to determine what we want for us. We should not allow our parent stresses to determine what we want for us. We should not allow prayers from friends or progress that we've been noticing from our friend determine what we want from our life. Which basically means we get what we want from our values that we've identified.
Oh my God, it's like oh, Counselor Olamide, thank you very much for this. So after knowing ourselves, the steps, knowing ourselves, getting rid of negative thoughts around. Then the next one, knowing what we want. After those 3 steps, are there any other things that?
There's a lot of steps. A lot of steps.
So okay, after doing all these 3 things, is it still possible that one would get out of direction and not know, okay, I've done everything the counselor said I should do. Now I don't have direction. Is that possible?
Yes, it is possible because life is unpredictable. And that might come from us not getting our values right. Not getting our values right might lead to a point of we losing direction in the middle of the way. We've only gone 3 steps into the steps of getting our life direction. Now we are feeling as if you are not getting it right. Go back to the first steps. Check your values. Are these really the things that define you? And then identifying our values, consider your environment as well. Is everything I want in this environment that I have? Is my environment influencing my value at any point? Do I have to move out of this environment to get what I want? So far, we start letting our immediate environments limit our values, limit the things we are able to achieve. Then, in no time, if you like, we are moving off trailer, then our direction is going, of course.
Thank you for that. Okay, when you were talking now, does finding direction, does getting direction brings fulfillment? How does fulfillment plays in finding? How do we derive fulfillment in finding direction, getting right direction?
When we started this section, I said something about when we find our life direction, it is more of being existential. And then when we are existential, we get the meaning in life. We find that joy in our life. You know, there is this difference between happiness and getting meaning in life. Happiness is something that comes and goes. I've achieved this particular goal. Okay, I want to buy a car. I've gotten the car. I'm so happy. I'm elated. I'm very, very happy. I can't describe my joy. My friends came. We celebrated. That is happiness. That is not the meaning we want in life. Because it is them. Then you know that car that will drive us to our goals. So we still have to stay on course and know what we want.
So fulfillment comes
from our life direction. We get fulfillment when we get our life direction right.
So now, okay, I want to a little bit digress into your personal, not really personal. Is there a point where you were void of direction, like there's no direction, just like being a counselor? You understand? Some people it's because she's a counselor, that's why everything is, you understand? Well, was there a point that you didn't get, like, you were just like, hey, I'm not making me, what am I thinking? Was there a particular point in your life that we're just void of, we don't have any direction in life? And okay, let me ask that one before I ask this question. That okay, let's go with that one first.
Okay. There are several points in my life where I feel lost. I felt like all this to do. So there are other points in my life. Counselors are no good. We don't get everything right.
No, give it.
And there is not like a particular life manual that directors, okay, after this, do this. No.
Even if just as you said the other time that life is unpredictable,
Very,
life
very
can happen to
unpredictable.
anybody. So if you are trying to say, okay, there's this I don't know what to call it, that when we were young, like when I'm done with primary school, I will go to secondary school, I will do jam, then I'll enter maybe
You
university
calculate the age.
and I'll get married at age maybe 20 something, and I'll start making money. But when first jam you, the second jam, you'll be like, okay. So just to add to the point that life is unpredictable, just as we said. So okay, those points where you were confused, before I asked those things you do, I know someone someone out there will be like, okay, where does God place the direction of, where does God place, how do I place God in terms of direction? I need God. So is there a place where God comes in when finding life directions? Well, and where does God comes in? So that's it.
The God factor comes in at every step of getting our life direction. We can obviously not do anything without our maker. Is our main direction. Is our main direction. So it comes in at every point of us getting our life direction. At every single point.
Every single point.
Yes.
So was there a point in your life where you tried all these 3 steps? You said yes, there was a point. And what are the steps you took? Was it God that came through, or did you go and do something? What are those steps that you took at that particular point?
At that point, God came through. I would say then I'd been doing things more on my personal level, just going towards this goal I have, and then trying to get it right. I really want it, I have to get it. No matter how many times I have to try, I definitely have to get it. But then I realized that, okay, at this point, I think I have to ask this father out there, what is going on? What do I have to do? What have I been doing wrong? And then it came true.
So if you're out there, you are like, okay, I've tried even myself. I've done this, I've done that. Me, I don't know where to go again. Go back to your maker. There's this saying that says he has the blueprints. So when he was forming us, nobody was there. So the fact that you know yourself, he knows you better. So thank you very much for that. There was this time that we're discussing, that you told me about a short story of how you found direction through God's leading. And that was your course and all that. So can you please share us the audience with the audience thing?
Right. Let's get into it.
Okay.
Counseling has never been in my path in life. Never. The funniest thing is I hate student counselors. I don't know. Their dressing tells me of not in part of our regulatory dress. But then there are some student counselors that usually come to my secondary school then to do their CP. And then when they come, counseling practicum, sorry. Yeah, they come for their counseling practicum. Whenever they come around, there is this way they look. I tagged it in my head as, why are these people looking wretched? Is their profession actually the kind of profession where they are just told not to dress well? And like, do they have to look like this in their profession? So since then, I've had this, let me say, hatred towards this course called counseling. Without knowing that is the part I'm actually meant today. And okay, let me say, in primary school, I wanted medicine and surgery. Mainly because nothing scares me.
Oh my God.
Whenever any of my friends get injured in school, I'll be the one that will go closer to the blood and then try to wash it off. But then when we get to secondary school, it was in GSS 3, they all changed. They all changed. Because there is this experience I encountered about how a woman was mistreated. She had no one to talk to. She had no one to help her. There is no legal steps to take to get her the help that she needs. So my baby thought then was that the help I could have gotten her or any other person out there is in becoming a lawyer. That interprets the law.
So for medicine and surgery, doctor, Q2.
All is still. Okay, so from there, I bounced back to where actually a doctor will not necessarily be the person that is going through my treatment.
Exactly.
You get.
Yeah, we-
So the interest formed. We are going into law. So I started. I did the first jump. Did a great score. If I remember, me to 67.
in fact, she's a.
I passed now. I was there. I was very, very ready for law in Obafemi Awolowo University. But then when OE will shock me, they disaccredited law. The moment disaccreditation came, I have this mentor. She's a barrister. I went to her. She was like, "Just change your course. They will accredit it again, and then when they accredit, they'll bring people from all those courses and then try to bring us back to 100 level." I was like, "Okay." It was my brother that helped me change to philosophy straight. He even went as far as going through the God factor for me. He went through prayer. He told me he went to a mountain, and then they told him that anything that has to do with helping or talking, I can go into it. He changed to philosophy. No admission. Second year, we tried again. And I asked her, then jam. We bounce. UI now. Oh, you have disappointed me.
No going back to.
UI, we did it 4 marks below the cutoff mark. Change your course, never. I'm doing law.
No, you go with that.
The third year, I went as far as speaking University of Abuja, Osaka.
If I'm going to be like,
I'm sure God deliberately left me to my phone. I just keep it going. Let me see how far you can go. I got home that night, showed my mom my printouts. She was like, you know, in Nigeria, that can be. What is dream of yours? I don't know what you're thinking. Abuja, Boko Haram. So that night, my mom insulted me. I felt like she was not being supportive. My brother added his own. When I saw their expression, when I saw what they let out from them, I did not even have the courage to go to my dad and show him that, okay, I picked University of Nigeria. Yeah. My dad has never even been a supporter of Bonifa. Ordinary Akunda down there couldn't allow me to go.
So going to him to say,
I picked Abuja. I didn't know what pushed me, but I was like, I want this law. Then that night, I called my friend. He initially wanted to be a lawyer, actually, but then he changed to linguistics and foreign languages. He's living his life and he's progressing. Wow. He was in part, I still did look for admission. So that night, I was very, very bitter. Like, why can't my family be my first source of joy? Why can't they support me in this decision? Even if you correct me, you've corrected me in a better way. Don't be this critical in criticizing me. Then that night, I cried in prayer.
In prayer.
I doubt I've ever prayed that much. I cried in prayer that, okay, God, I've been trying. I've been dedicating my time. I've been studying, I've been reading. What exactly do you want me to do? I know I want to help people. No, I've identified that part of me. I have to help people. Going through our values.
Yes, identify, yes.
I identified my value. Yes, this is what I want. There is no negativity. Whatever comes, even with all the failures, I kept pushing. I know what I want. I know I want to help people and I want to love. So what is now the purpose? Why all this? I prayed. I was expecting my then is after this prayer, I will have a dream. But then the next morning, I woke up without any dream. So my family, they greeted me normally. Then the movie that was playing was a counselor helping a woman in the same situation that I wanted to help someone in. At that very moment, the interest came. That interest, the total interest then from then till now, the interest kept building.
And how did you know that, okay, this is what?
I can't say I know. God pointed it out. Because that would not be the first movie I've watched on being a counselor. Or that would not be the first movie that where a counselor was helping people, or where a movie about counseling. But then it struck a chord. I felt like this is really the part I have to go in achieving what I want to achieve. I know I want to help. But then if I actually look at it, I want to help people being a lawyer. Then I have to wait for them to commit a crime. Or go through a life-threatening situation that actually have to lead to the law enforcement agencies. But then in being a counselor, You don't have to commit a crime before I help
Help
you.
you. Yeah, exactly.
You can be going through any life situation and then I will help. My help
Mm.
comes in and then it is versatile.
Mm.
It can go to any length. I can
Mhm.
take it as far as I want, and I can help as many people as I want to help at the same time. Being a lawyer, I can only help a person at the same time.
Okay. Mm.
So God came through at that point in time, even after following all the steps, which I was not actually conscious that I was taking the steps towards getting my inspiration. So I can say to you that the God factor cannot totally be gotten rid of. It is always there. Always there. Ready for us whenever we are ready for him.
So from what she just said now, I got something from what you said. Like, if even after knowing everything, okay, I've identified my values. I know what I want. I know the future. I want this a positive mind and all of that. Despite knowing all those steps, all those things, God factor was still needed there. So there are some cases where you would have known everything about yourself, but the main direction might still come from God. So in all your finding steps, direction, knowing who you are, do not ever leave life. I do not ever leave God out of it. So we are already coming to the end of the section. But before we come to the end of the section, is there any other thing you feel we should say to people out there?
Yeah. So the audience, let me start with the main reason why we are here. Life direction. We talked about some steps in getting our life direction, but that is not all. Yeah, we talked about life. We got about know your values, get rid of negativity, know what you want. Then you also have to set goals. We have to set our goals. Then after setting our goal, oh, this is what I want. Then after that, we need determination. You have to be determined. We have to be strong-willed. Let me put it as that. Our strong will has to always be there because there will always be obstruction. There will always be a point in time where you have to like go back and start again or take away course or take away routes. We have to be determined so as not to go away from that goal that we want and then to be able to move in line with our life direction. And God factor is as important as it will be. God factor is as important. God factor is not limited to our religion. It is just basically based on knowing this God that is out there and looking up to him for the direction in our life. But then God will not come down and help us, obviously. It's not to take down that step. And most importantly, we have to take action. Stop thinking and start taking that action. Think. Thinking is very, very important. We have to think. But don't overthink. Overthinking is bad. It takes us away from our direction, it takes us away from our goal. But even after thinking, which is not overthinking, we have to take action. And then by the time we take action, I can assure you, you are in the path of taking the right decision and going in the life direction that you set for yourself.
So, Cancelo, for someone that has tried all possible best just to get rid of negative thoughts, try thinking right, but still your voices like you can't do it. Negative thoughts. How can a person combat it? Like, how can the person fight? What are those things the person should do, see? Like, basically, what should the person do?
Okay. For a person that is having, let's say, episodes of negativity, should we put it like that, or episodes of negative thoughts. The first thing the person will have to do is changing his or her thought pattern.
Okay.
How can you change your thought pattern? That will start from actually recognizing that my thoughts are negative. Actually recognizing that this particular incident that is happening to me, I have to stop it. I need help about it. So if the person is going on the path of self-help, the basic thing to do is being mindful. And a person that is having negative thoughts can go into exercise, yoga, meditation. When you do all these things, they bring your body to a balance. There is no way you'll be participating in meditation and you'll be thinking negatively. It is not possible. Now, the next thing for the person to now do when the person is able to go into this meditation is to bring experiences from the meditation into normal life. You know, you cannot be in meditation for the whole 24 hours in a day. Even if you're able to like do the whole 24 hours in a day, you cannot do the 7 days in a week. So you just like try to, this is what I did when I was meditating. This is how I control the negative thoughts from coming into my mind. Then when you are in a normal life setting and then the negative thoughts start coming, try to shift it back through practicing the meditation that you've done again in your head. Now, when it is a situation that is getting too far, the person is not able to actually actualize the meditation, the person will eventually need to go out and seek for help. In seeking for help, the person can employ the use of a counselor or a learned elderly person that can really relate to the person's story without being judgmental. Friends might help at this point, but depending on the type of friend circle that we have. Because if we are using friends as a way to stop these negative thoughts, it might get to a point that we start pretending to the friends that we are not more negative, but then we pretend to be positive in front of the friends, and when we are back to our shell, we turn to be negative. So the basic cure, the best cure, is to go out and seek for help.
Thank you for that. And okay, how do you know when you are like when someone does not have direction? Like, okay, you know, there's some people that these are the characteristics of you being a woman. So what are the characteristics that you would see in someone, or you yourself will see that, oh, I don't have a direction? What are those things you see?
Signs of not having life direction. It is difficult for most humans to discover that they do not have a life direction. Mainly because everything is basically going on well. You feel like there is no reason to like come back and then think. It is not as if things are the best way it can be. But then it is still enough to cater for our needs at a particular point in time. People feel like they are doing alright at that point. So it is kind of difficult for people to actually realize that they are not having life goals. It borders more on others seeing it on them, that it feels as if these people do not have life goals. And then when some people actually want to tell you again that they do not have life goals, some people may use their own life direction or their life goal based on their own. This is the path I'm going in my life. Why is this person going in this direction? Why does it feel like you don't have a direction in life? That doesn't feel like you don't have a goal. This is the way you should be going. Can't you see me? So some people evaluate others based on their own evaluation. So now know that you do not have a life goal. Sit down and have a rethink. What is the sequence my life has been taking? Has there actually been a particular set order that I am following, or I'm just allowing anything come and go? Is there anything that is pushing me forward? Is there this thing that I'm looking towards do? Is this a set goal that I want to achieve? When we sit down and think and then we find any of these things absent, then I might say you do not have a life direction.
Thank you very much. So we have come to the end of the section. I know that you enjoyed this section. I'm very sure you've written some points down. So our counselor, thank you very much for coming. If we call you again, will you?
God's really my God's grace.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So in case you have any question for the counselor, something is bothering you, and all of that, please just drop it in the comment section. And you have a personal question you want to ask the counselor, something bothering you, just need some counseling, you can actually reach out to us at the displayed social media, so our social media handle that will be displayed on the screen. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Don't just watch and go. Watch, like, drop a comment, and subscribe. Till I come your way again, my name still remains Ayla Taiwo Mary. And from all of us in Counseling at the Doorstep, we say Bye bye. Thank you.